So yeah, hi once again and welcome. I'm really glad we're all here today. My name is Ana Leon and I'll be facilitating today's webinar on building and strengthening membership. Today's conversation is really about exploring practical strategies to not only grow each store's membership, but also to create meaningful connections that keep people engaged over time with your store. So I want to ask everyone if we can make a round of introductions, if you can share your name, your organization or store, and how long your store have been working with membership. And whoever wants to start, that'll be fantastic, but also I might call you. I see Kate and Adam raising their hands. So
Yeah. Uh, this is Adam, and this is Kate. I'll let Kate introduce herself too, but my name's Adam. I work at Local Roots Marketing Cafe in Worcester, Ohio. Legal business name, Worcester Local Foods Cooperative, and the cooperative function of that is the references our cooperative status as a legal entity, and so for us, membership. Um, and we'll talk more about this later, but membership for us is really like a legal term as well as a community engagement term, but our membership are all equal share owners of the cooperative. And so we've been working with membership since before we even started, going all the way back to 2009 when the entity was formed.
And my name's Kate. I'm the community engagement coordinator. I think I've been here now just over 2.5 years. And so I help out with the memberships at the market, marketing, promotional items, membership perks, website stuff. We do a member appreciation month once a year where we sell discounted memberships and have extra fun things going on in the store, so on and so forth.
awesome. Thank you, Adam and Kate. Any other volunteer?
Hey, Anna, I'll go. It's Jody.
Awesome. And then maybe Robin can go next since she
So
also
sorry too.
raised her hand.
I just realized that I had my audio on and my video off. So I'm sorry if y'all heard me typing. I'm Jody and my name is Jody Adams and I am the executive director for Grow Ohio Valley in Wheeling, West Virginia. And Grow Ohio Valley is a nonprofit who is attempting to build a local food system in the tri-state area and the Ohio Valley. And the public market is our flagship project and is a year-round farmers market. And for that, I'll pass it to Robin Davis, who is the store manager there.
Hey guys. Yeah, I'm the store manager down here at the public market. Um, we have our membership program, which we just rolled out at the beginning of this year, updated, and it's a tiered program with some member discounts and access to bulk ordering. And yeah, I've been here for about 3 years. The store's been here for about 6.
Awesome. Um, Keller Market or Wild Ram?
I can go. I'm Erin Harvey. I'm the director at the Keller Market House in Lancaster Farmers Market. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, so membership for us is very important, but it's kind of an optional layer. And we have options for both shoppers, supporters, and our vendors. And joining us, at least listening in, is our brand new market coordinator, Haley. So she's going to be helping us especially like integrate the farmers market more into our membership program. It's been very market house centered. I don't know if she wants to introduce herself. But yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it will be great to hear from you, Haley. You are muted. Maybe she's
Can you
having
hear me
some.
now? There it
Yes.
goes. I keep pushing it, it wasn't doing anything. Anyway, I'm Haley. It's nice to meet all of you. And I'm brand new, so I'm just kind of learning everything.
Awesome. Great to have you. And then Rob.
Yeah, my name's Robert Trombley. I'm currently the interim director over at the Wild Ramp. Um, and they are a nonprofit, a part of Coalfield Development. They're kind of a program under a larger nonprofit. We don't really have much of a membership program per se, but we do have like vendors that sell at the market on a consignment basis. I would say that's the closest thing to like a membership we have. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. And maybe after this conversation, you all will learn some of the benefits and strategies, and maybe you will implement a membership. Who knows?
Absolutely.
But
Yeah, happy to learn.
yeah, yeah. And now if we can have our ASONET team introduce as well.
Okay, I'll go first. Hey everyone, good to see your smiling faces. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Athens County. I'm Leslie Scheller. I am the Director of Programs and I don't know, lifelong advocate of all mutations of farmers markets. So it's great to continue to get to know people within this learning cohort and welcome new faces. And I'll pass the baton to Megan.
Hi, everyone. My name is Megan Loveland, and I have been the Programs and Communications Coordinator for AceNet going on 11 years, 12 if you count time spent as a Vista. Um, so I provide programming, grant development support, organizational branding and communications, regional brand program support. I create content for and manage our e-newsletter, website, and social media. And I will pass to Avery.
Thanks, Megan. I'm Avery Snyder. I am the multimedia designer. I've been at AceNet for a little over 3 years now. I do a lot of one-on-one technical support with our clients, which include a lot of food and farm businesses, and local entrepreneurs. I'll pass to Jessica.
Hello. So as Anna mentioned, I'm the newest member of AceNet, newest team member. I'm on day 3, so very, very new, but excited to get to know all of you and already super inspired by how everybody works together and the way that these networks are all commingled. It's very, very inspiring. So yeah, I'm excited to hear from all of you.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. And to get started, one of the first questions that I wanted to ask everyone is what strategies have worked best for building your membership and sort of like what also has been the motivation to start the membership if this is like new or if you have historical like information on why each of your stores decided to start with this system. And I'm gonna be calling out people to make it a little bit to make the flow easier. So why don't we start with the public market, Grow Ohio Valley?
Yeah, when I started the market, they already had a membership in place, and it was initially just to help um, a way for customers to support us as a nonprofit. And then it had some perks of like a member discount day. Every last Friday, they get 15% off, and then access to ordering a lot of the grocery stuff that we sell, not usually the consignment, but just our wholesale things in bulk. And that had 3 flat rates for different levels. And then this year we changed that up. So that way, our the bulk ordering really grew into its own entity and people wanted more of that. And then we had some people just wanting to be more just supportive of the market without the benefits of the purchasing. So we changed the prices, raised them a little bit, and added different benefits to each tier of the new membership for people to be able to choose how they wanted the memberships to work for them, whether it was just supportive or more as beneficial shopping as a customer. Yeah, Jody, I don't know if there's anything you wanted to add.
Well, yeah, I'll just say as many things evolve, the membership program almost has to as well. I mean, the membership program for us when it started out was there were founding members. So I think Robin, if I'm not mistaken, founding members, it was like $1,000.
Yeah, and we
And
still have
you,
that.
yeah, and you had all the perks to all of the membership levels that you did if you were at that founding level. But I think we posted names in the store, but it was literally back when it began, and it was money that was used to start the market. And as Robin said, it really did evolve in a lot of different ways. um, we Yeah, Leslie saying on the chat here about Wild Ramp. I think we modeled ours off of the Wild Ramp and Local Roots at the beginning. Then as things change and things happen, I mean, my goodness, for us and the time that we've been doing this, and for most of y'all, COVID happened, and then, just slumps in the economy and things like that. So, we did the bulk ordering for people as a way to get more members. And then when that took off, like Robin said, it became too much of a strain on the store. So we had to sort of look at how to make that more beneficial for the store and the team there. So I think the biggest message that I would say has been important for our membership program is that it has had to evolve. Not that we want to change it every year and make it tricky or confusing for people, but I think those little tweaks in the evolution are really, really important so that it stays relevant. And the way that Robin rolled it out at the store, she made it a really big deal. And so, customers were receiving it with open arms and excited about the changes.
Awesome. And dollar market?
Yeah, sorry, did you just kind of wanted like general overview?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like how does it work and like what strategies have been the best to retain new members
Um,
or attract new members?
okay, we're just about to turn 10 years old, and we've had some kind of membership program since just nearly the beginning. And we've tweaked everything. So I'm trying to think of like what we've left behind and versus like what's been really successful. Our levels are largely tailored to like household type or organization type. Um, of course, then with some options to just give more money if you'd like to. So I hope we've landed on some successful levels. One thing that worked really well for us the last year or two, we added just like an individual level, because before our basic membership was for like one or two. And even that, I think, priced some people out. And so we added an individual level for $35 and got like a ton of members that way. So while this definitely is like an income generating program for us, it also has a lot of value in just making people feel like part of the community and getting them more engaged and everything. So we felt like that was a win. And then we do have like a duo level, a family level, $100 level, and then we have what we call our local food champions, and that's 150, 250, or $500. And so once you hit like the $100 level, and then the local food champion levels, there's some extra benefits. And I'd say one of the things we struggle with really knowing if it has an impact is the benefits. Like at a point, I think people just want us to be successful and want to give money. And we try to like give them gifts and things, and we're not sure how much they really care. Like, sure, they're like, oh, that's lovely, but I don't think that's what's motivating them. So we've kind of backed off that a little bit. Like we do a member gift that we try to switch it up each year. We've done tote bags and mugs and all those kinds of things. It's just so there's something tangible. And then we do monthly specials. So we shoot for 3 every month. Some of them are offered by our consignment vendors, some are offered by us on our wholesale items. And we have those written up on a chalkboard at the checkout counter. So those are very visible. And I'd say that's a good tool because people are standing there and they go, oh, what's that? Or they think they're getting the discount, and then we get to explain that's for our members. Here's the membership info. Would you like to join? One thing that we also have changed is when we started, it was on a staggered schedule. You could sign up whenever, and then your membership lasted for a year. And that was a nightmare to keep track of. So then we tied it to the calendar year, but then we did this prorated thing. That was also a nightmare. And so the last couple of years, we have just landed on you can sign up at full price from January to June, and then we're done until like December. And then we start signing people up for the next year. When we started, we like many of you, we modeled after local roots. And so we required our vendors to be members. And after a couple of years, we made that optional because we just felt like we have vendors that are all over the place. It was $50. Some made $50 in a day with us. Some made $50 in a year. So we didn't really feel like that was an even playing field and was maybe preventing some people from signing up. So now our vendor membership is optional, and it is $100 a year. I think last year we had about 20 people. So that is something I would really like to see grow. We do offer them some special marketing opportunities and a little bit of discount on vendor fees for the farmers market, as well as all the kind of higher level benefits. And like I said, one of our goals for this year is our membership's been very market house focused, but we also have a huge reach with our farmers market. And we just haven't been as able to communicate it and offer benefits tied to the farmers market. So that's something that we would like to work on. That's about it. If people have questions. And I pulled up our membership page. I'll put that link in the chat.
Awesome. And I saw that Megan had a question.
Wow, Megan always has questions. So I was just kind of curious when you're saying that you have the special boards at the checkout. I was curious if people are kind of salty when they realize specials are for members only, or generally supportive, or is this like a pretty good way of like bumping your member numbers or combination?
Sometimes people are disappointed. I don't think I've ever seen anybody be like angry. I don't know that many sign up on the spot, but at least like now we have brochures handy and we can get that like into their hands and they'll take a look. Often they'll go away and think about it because you can sign up online as well. So yeah, but all in all positive, I think.
Yeah. What about local roots?
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, Local Roots started as a cooperative, and I think the initial thinking on that and the brainstorming and the development of it was the interested group of community members coming together and being like, hey, we should start a market like this. I think our town could support it. We have a lot of agriculture in the area. People have interest in healthy eating. The farmers market's great, but it only operates 1 day a week, 5 months out of the year. What about the other, 300 and whatever days that leaves over? Produce grows 7 days a week. We're only selling it 1 day a week. What happens if you work on Saturday? Or, if the produce grows ripe on Monday? So like that was kind of the origin story for the idea of the market in general. But then the people that were coming together and having those ideas, none of them really, I think, felt too attached to the idea of them owning it. or being the sole owners of it. If it was like, John and Susie's local food market, what happens if they're no longer interested in running it? Does the concept just die off? And so I think in the early days when they were looking at the trade-offs between the pros and cons of a private for-profit enterprise and a nonprofit, they found something kind of Goldilocks in the middle, which for us was the cooperative, and structured it in a way that it was anybody can show up and buy a membership, but they can't buy more than one. So it's very democratic in nature in that way. Like everybody gets a single vote. No Elon Musk level of folks could come in and buy, all of the shares if they wanted to. It's not allowed by the bylaws. So in terms of the power and true like community ownership, they structured it in a way that was the shares aren't sellable and you only get one, and for every share gets a vote, and the votes determine board of directors and voting regulations, bylaw modifications. It's all kind of set up like a little municipality. It's like a little government. And that started with 13 members, all, buying shares. At the time that they structured it, they built in that you could actually buy a lifetime membership, which means that all of the benefits that extend to members go for, in perpetuity, for a lifetime. But if you want the kind of access to savings and sales and discounts and dividends or whatever benefits extend to members, you have to renew that in the store every year for $50. So, um, and that's maybe a good segue for me to pass it over to Kate, but that's just a little bit of like the origin story of us, starting out as the idea of a community-owned enterprise and using the co-op structure to do that, and then kind of growing into the point where we are today, where that was a concept. Now we have about 3,500 members that have signed up life to date.
Hi, I'm Kate, as you already know. I'm the community engagement coordinator here and have been trying to dig a little deeper into our memberships this year. Some of you may already be aware, but we do offer membership perks here at Local Roots. You get 1% back on all purchases made in store to your account each quarter. And so you can use that money to spend back into the market. And people really like that. Obviously, it's like free money. Um, there's also weekly discounts just for members. And we've tried to add more perks on since I've been here in the last couple of years. We sometimes will do special pre-order. For example, we have a salmon order we do around 1 or 2 times a year that's only available to members. We sometimes offer classes and we'll give a member special pricing, a discount to the classes, or early bird access to an event sign up. Members can run in and vote in our co-op elections, our board of directors for the co-op as well. Um, then in June, we do our member appreciation month where you can buy your membership or renew your membership at a $10 discount, so $40 instead of $50. And that's typically when we see a lot of people sign up to save that $10. We used to throw a member appreciation party, but the last time we did, hardly anyone came. I think just it was busy and summer and people are traveling and who knows. But one thing new that I've been working on is I want to kind of try to learn more about, because we do have shoppers here who will not buy a membership. And then we also do have shoppers who have bought a membership but won't renew, but they still come back and, patronize the market. So I've been working on creating an anonymous survey that will kind of try to get into their minds a little bit to see, just to learn more, to see if that can help guide our ship a little better. And we're hoping to release that survey in June for our Member Appreciation Month. Trying to think what else. Do you have any questions so far?
I don't think so.
Okay. Oh, I see
Leslie,
hand
Leslie
raised.
has a question.
Yeah, so I've been sitting here doing the math. So 3,500 members, presumably some of those folks maybe are a little slow or do not renew their membership annually. But I mean, if you had 3,500 people renew at even $40 annually, I mean, that's a sizable chunk of equity. It still exceeds what I would think would be the 1% of sales discount. Um, so have you guys, and I know this is a stupid accounting question, but have you guys tried to like maybe set some goals as to how do we build the number of members, continue the 1%, continue some of the other sort of perks, but figure out what the overall, I guess, return on that investment is? You know, so say it's $175,000 in memberships annually, you subtract it by X, Y, and Z. Are you, especially with your expansion goals, I guess, are you thinking, okay, what what return on investment do we need to keep investing in the growth of the market? And Adam, you might want to, I know you
Yeah.
have opinions on this, so.
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of them. I would say a little bit echoing what Aaron and Jody both said too. Um, and I think Robin was kind of hinting at some of the same things. It's just in constant flux for us. Like the membership is uh it's a very lively thing. It's like live culture, you know. I don't think it's very prescriptive. So for each store, it has to mean something different. And for us over time, it's kind of changed. In the very beginning, it was like you know, when you only have 13 member owners of an organization, I mean, that's it's like a small, you know, privately held company. But as you get to the point where you have 3,200 households, there's you know, that equity gets diluted a little bit. And some people do, they feel like this is my co-op. Like I own this thing, even if I'm only one, you know, 3,500th of it, like that matters to me. And they show
Mhm.
up and they're very proud to give you their member number when they come to check out at the register. Some people really just look at it as like it gets me access to savings and sales. I know if you go put buy one, get one free on something frozen and I can get it half off because I'm a member, then it's like coupon cutting, kind of like I save money on that. Some people just want to be supportive, and you know, I was kind of shaking my head when Aaron was like, yeah, we don't really know, you know, do they really just want to give us money and then we're turning around and handing it back to them? You know, they don't really want the discount, and we feel like a lot of grayscale and all of that. I'll tell you that we don't get even 50% of the total membership that renews every year. I mean, some people have passed away. Some people have moved to different areas. Some people have tried a membership out for a year and uh, you know, because they haven't renewed, they're not active, but you know, they're still in our number of total people that have registered. And so that number probably only comes down to, I would say 40 to 45% in a given year that we get to renew. And then we are giving some of that away as well in terms of perks and benefits. And in terms of cash flow and impact, you know, as the market's grown, to get $30,000 in membership fees every single year when you're only doing $300,000 in sales is a really big deal. Like, you know, that's a make it or break it kind of factor. And it's a high margin contribution as well. You know, somebody's just giving you money because they want to support you. But as we've grown and now we're up to $2.5 million in sales, to get 60 or $70,000 in membership dues and giving some of that back. It's just a smaller percentage as well. So I think as it's changed over the years, it's become um, much more of a cultural thing for us that we manage as opposed to like an accounting, you know, line item investment, you know, ROI type of thing. Like we want presently, we're more, I think, interested and engaged in how people feel about the co-op, and we use the membership to help manage that. Did that answer your question? Yeah, good. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. And thinking about these peer-to-peer learning, I want to ask you all, like, what have been the most effective tactics for retaining and engaging those members over time? And then on the other hand, what strategies didn't work and you wouldn't recommend? So maybe we can also think in terms of like what communication strategies have worked to like bring new members or like events. I don't know what would be the case for each of you. Um, and maybe again, we can start with Grow High Valley with the public market.
Yeah, I try to think what we got. We didn't really get rid of a lot of what was the original membership. We just sort of built on that. To sort of, I wanted to work on the customer retention of it because we also had the problem of people getting the membership and then realizing they weren't really using it. And they didn't want to, it was mostly for the bulk ordering aspect of it. So we added to it monthly product discounts on our wholesale stuff. We usually just pick an item that we're already getting for sale. So we'll give it to the members at that discount price. So we're not taking too much of a financial hit on that discount. We do the 1% back, which brings a lot of people back into the store. We used to roll that out quarterly and we roll that out monthly now. So they're seeing that back on their accounts more often. And we also added a member of the month feature. So every time you shop with us, either on the grocery end or the kitchen, you're put in for a drawing for member of the month. And we just do a little like social media highlight, which is really fun because they get to like show their favorite products to buy in store and like just $20 gift card member involvement. And that seems to be drawing people in a lot more. And then we've added access to not just ordering our regular grocery stuff, but ordering from our smaller wholesalers, like Frankfurt and our organic produce distributor at the higher tiers. And at the highest tier, we added a discount in the kitchen as well, because we have a lot of people coming in and not doing as much grocery shopping, just looking for the local produce in peak season, but coming in year round for the kitchen more often. And those have all brought back, we've got a lot more regulars now already this year than we've had before. So I think, yeah, just working on the customer retention aspect and bringing people back in was a big focus of the new membership program. Yeah, I think I covered it. Jody?
No, I don't have anything to add. Thanks for that.
And was there anything that maybe you tried and it was not a success? It was sort of like a failure that you were like, no, we're not doing that next year, or did you ever experience something like that?
Yeah, I know in the past we've done a monthly, we used to do like a March Madness thing where we did a discounted membership, but that was a lot of people getting it because we weren't getting a whole bunch in that period, that it was like more effective than other like peak shopping points of the year. And people were getting the membership then and then realizing they weren't using it as much. And then the bulk ordering, like I said, is a big one for us. We offer that 50% discount with our SNAP, which families can then use, they can put that 50% on the wholesale price with their bulk ordering. So that's what really put our membership and bulk ordering into like a hyperdrive of people, families, which we love being able to do, ordering huge amounts. But we weren't earning anything off of that. And then we were paying like shipping fees and that we weren't including the discounts we get on some of the wholesale products that was being included to the customer with that SNAP discount off it already. So financially, the membership became payroll and just overall cost. We weren't earning barely anything off of it. And with it being that flat rate of, it used to be 35 flat for the year for all the perks. So we had to make it, I think we do We have four tiers and then the founding members. So it's 35, 50, 75, and then 100 annually.
You were storing, so they were storing all of that bulk product too. And their walk-ins are outside. So if it was something that had to be cold, sometimes people would leave their things there for a week, 2 weeks. And for $35 a year, they're getting all this bulk product. And for some members who are SNAP recipients, they're getting it for 50% off. Which we then get the 50% back. But, it becomes hard when you're operating a business if somebody comes in at I don't know, 5 o'clock, there are two people there and they've got this giant bulk order that you have to go out and get. And um, then really quickly, the March Madness thing was a referral uh, thing, if I remember correctly. It was like a push to get new members, but also for current members to refer others. And so it looked really good up front. So at March or in March, and when this whole promo was going on, it was like, oh, we were signing up a ton of people. But they, like Robin said, they were people that maybe never came back in and didn't re-up them the following year, and they were getting a pretty big discount. So, it worked at the beginning. It looked like it worked, but it probably ultimately didn't because of the retention part of it.
I did want to point out too, Erin, I don't know if you've talked to Seth Seeger about the membership tracking, but I know you guys use Retail Edge also. And with his program, he has a program for us with our memberships. It communicates to Retail Edge. So when they sign up with the membership, it goes onto that portal and then it'll let us know on Retail Edge when that expires yearly per membership. So we're not trying to keep track of that manually. So I don't know if that would help you guys at all.
Um, Thank you. Is it like, I know there's already the customer function built in, like, is it tied to that or like
Yeah,
what?
we just use on Retail Edge, customer for us is membership.
Yeah.
And when we input it into his program, it comes over to the customer and it tracks when they expire and lets us know.
Does does it give you a notification per member,
Yeah.
or is it something that you need to go into the profile and then you see?
No, they're checking out, we always ask like if you're a member, and on Retail Edge you can type it in. You go over to the customer tab, and when you type it in, it brings up their membership. If it's expired, a box will come up and say, "This membership's expired. Do you want to renew it?"
I see. But it wouldn't happen that you're getting like an email notification per person or something like that. So you can like, let's say that customer hasn't been in the store for a while, so you can reach out and be like, hey, your membership is about to expire. Does that happen or no?
No, we actually, when I wrote out this new membership program, and because the bulk ordering and the membership tracking really needed its own dedicated person, for just keeping an eye on all of it and putting it all in. Even when we're doing the bulk ordering, each one of those items has to be input manually with the discount into Retail Edge. So we have a membership specialist now, and I would eventually like to get it part of her job of keeping an eye on Seth Seeger's program. It'll show us expiring soon and
Mm-hmm.
start contacting those people and like, just so you know, your membership's going to expire soon, and reminding them of the perks and things. And then regularly, as part of our marketing, we like to like just throw it out there on our socials, and we keep stuff around the store as visuals for constant, like, hey, if you're a member, you get this, this, and this. And we keep signage up for those discounted monthly products too, to keep drawing people in.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. And I saw Megan, you had a question maybe?
I think it might have just been answered. I was wondering if you could batch out reports by expiration month. It's just kind of
Yeah.
lost
Yeah,
my
on his
words.
program, it's similar to I don't know how many of you guys work with him, so I don't want to be like, oh, it's just Seth Seeger. He's great. Everybody should know him. But yeah, on there it'll show us expired memberships and expiring soon. and then all the current ones, and I can batch it out each separate way to see those.
Can I ask them, does that mean that like everybody needs to sign up and pay for their membership through Retail Edge, or is there some kind of data entry to get Retail Edge caught up to who's a member?
Yeah, but they sign up usually at the register. We do have an option for online, and that'll come through our Square, and we'll just input all their information there that way. But yeah, usually it's in store at the register, and it just we ring it up as a line item, and then as the memberships come in, they fill out the form. The membership specialist will put it onto Seth's membership portal tool thing, and then that communicates it within 24 hours. That is synced up with our Retail Edge, and it's all automatically in there. And then I'm able to do the discounts and things too, set up automatically with each tier. Like you can, in the customers, you have the user discount things you can put in separate things. So like tier 4 gets 10% off in the kitchen. So I'm able to automatically have Retail Edge do that for those members so we don't have to like memorize any of it or manually input anything.
I'm curious about the Square thing because we have a lot of people who sign up online remotely as well. And so then as this grows, one of the things we're struggling with is we have the Retail Edge customer list. We have info we're exporting from Square. We have like a spreadsheet where we keep track of all the things. And so like if everybody signed up exactly in the same way, it'd be a lot easier. But there's always going to be some data entry, and we're just trying to like work smarter, not harder, and chip away at that. Anybody has any?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You should talk to Seth about seeing if we can integrate it, and then you can just put them all onto that tool, and it communicates it. We don't get a whole bunch of online memberships. We did integrate our Square back through the kitchen and everything. So if any payment comes through our Square, it prints out like an order to the kitchen, and we get a receipt like manually printed. So we're not having to like check that Square account to make sure we're not missing any. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I don't know, Erin, if you would like to go ahead and talk for Keller Market, if there's something you would like to add.
I'll just kind of echo something Local Roots said about not being sure about like the parties. We've for many years had like an annual gathering kind of thing, and we're definitely, if we do that this year, we're changing it up because we were doing just kind of like a happy hour thing and attendance was not great. So we're gonna try to do a farm tour, and we think that would be more engaging and also like fill multiple goals at once and hopefully get more people. We do offer, like we call it our VIP event. And so it's our higher level members as well as sponsors and anybody else we feel like throwing in there. And that's been better. I think still it's not a great attendance rate in terms of how many people we invite and how many show up, but we find people are just so busy. We've hosted those at local wineries, and I think that has really helped get people to come. And it's a lot of work. So each time we're like, is this, do we do this again? And then it ends up being a lovely event. So, and at least I say, people felt invited, even if they couldn't make it. So we'll probably continue with that. We did used to do the 1% back, and honestly, we did away with it and did the monthly member specials instead because we felt like, and this was in the early days, so we didn't have such a wide pool of shoppers, but we felt like a lot of people like wanted us to keep the money. They didn't want the 1% back. They knew we were kind of like young and struggling anyway and a nonprofit, and like the clunkiness of having to enter names and keep track of people for every single transaction. We don't do that anymore. We just ask if they are shopping a special, then we keep track of it. Like we put their name in, and Retail Edge tells us if they're current or expired, not automatically, but we put that info in there when they sign up. And we also do the member of the month thing and get a picture and a quote. And I don't know how much that has drawn attention to the membership program or gotten new members per se, but it has been super valuable in getting really good social media content. So I would recommend doing that. Like, it's an excuse to be like, can we take your picture and can you say something nice? And then we totally use that and post and in our annual report and stuff like that. So that's been pretty good. I think I'm just checking out our benefits to see if I'm missing anything. A lot of the same stuff people mention, early bird tickets and workshop discounts and that kind of a thing.
Yeah, cool. Thank you, Erin. Kate and Adam.
I did want to say one more thing about, I did mention that we used to do a member appreciation party. We still do host events off and on throughout the year that aren't necessarily just for members, but they serve, as community engagement, which I hope in turn will maybe get someone to sign up for a membership because of it. We hosted last October a chili cook-off at a local brewery. So that was fun to be able to collaborate with another downtown business. And we had all of our chefs and then even someone who used to be here, but then started their own restaurant, their own brick and mortar participate. And we gave a portion of the proceeds to the Boys and Girls Club, and we already have a relationship with them because we're making their lunches. And it was really fun. Attendees came. We had all different kinds of chili, and they voted, and the top 3 chef winning chilies won a cash prize. And it's a great local root story because the winning chef is from Ukraine and he had never made chili before. I was like, this is so local roots. But it was a lot of fun. And then we raised over $2,000 for the Boys and Girls Club on one Sunday afternoon. So that was more, we had no idea how it was going to go. But I felt like it was a strong way to engage. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then we do our holiday bazaar too.
I think that, yeah, that's always one of those things about having a membership thing. It doesn't sound like any of us in this group are in that, like, I don't know if you call it like a Costco model, where like you have to be a member to shop there. And in the beginning, we got a lot of questions about that, and I don't think we get them so much anymore. But it is really always that delicate balance of trying to include as many people as possible, regardless of whether or not they're willing to give you, $50 and be a part of your club, but also making the club kind of feel special enough that you want to bring people in. So inclusive and supportive and not exclusive. And that dance is it's continuous. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to make sure, Rob, I carve some time in case you have questions or like as Leslie was asking in the chat, if this is like inspiring you to start a membership again.
Yeah, I'm definitely absorbing a lot of information. I just started last week as the interim, so I'm absorbing a lot of information as well as this. But I do find, the 1% back very interesting. One thing that came to mind is the Wild Ramp does a lot of events access through a membership program. Um, I've already been thinking about ways of, somebody mentioned their kitchen as well. I've been thinking of ways we can get the Harvest Kitchen to like do things where people might buy more meals at once, like volume plays. And it sounds like a membership could be a good way of doing that. And then I heard too, it sounds like a lot of people use Retail Edge and Seth Works is somebody that I heard of a while back, but it seems like I'm hearing about him now in this conversation. Can anybody touch more on how Seth Works helps more, like Seth Seeger's program helps more with membership programs? I only knew about him through like farm payouts is how I was introduced to him.
Sounds like Robin's the expert in the group.
Like I'm Seth's biggest fan, guys.
He is so nice.
No, I feel bad. I ask him a lot of questions and he's his sort of history is he worked within like the consignment sort of grocery model and built out these computer programs to help people within those models. And we use him also for our consignment payout stuff. And he started a new, I don't know if you guys have started Seth's new interface or like all of his new stuff. I also get from him monthly like dashboard reports showing percentages of month to month and year to year sales of everything pulled from Retail Edge, a lot of little things like that, but what pertaining just to the memberships. Yeah, it's like a little extension of that. And like I said, when we get memberships in, we just go on there, type the information in, and I it communicates to Retail Edge, which if you've only been there for a week, there's a lot of weird little things Retail Edge can do when you get good at tweaking it. And you can put a lot of little details into those user fields. So through that, he's able to like track with that program the memberships when they expire, and it just communicates directly to the Retail Edge. So like I said,
Okay.
when they expire, it pops up. And then when I want to do like certain discounts for different tiers of the memberships and things, he was able to like walk me through how to do that on Retail Edge with the balcony.
Okay.
Does that answer the question? I would highly recommend talking to him, even just to get some ideas. He is busy, but if you can pin him down, just a fount of information and helpfulness.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'll definitely reach back out to him. It sounds like he's done a lot more with what he's been working on over the past few years since I've spoken to him. So I'll definitely reach back out. Um, and yeah, I'm still learning. Like you said, just coming back into the wild ramp. I'm still learning. I just talked to High Meadow Business Solutions today, Retail Edge, and I told him that we definitely underutilize their point of sale system. So I'm still learning all those nuances there. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you everyone. And we're like 4 minutes to the hour. So I also wanted to make sure there's some time now, in case anyone have more specific questions that would like to be answered by the group. This will be our time for that. And if there are no questions, Leslie.
Yeah, I mean, come on. So we've had a lot of transition, with staff coming and going over these last couple of years of us being a group together. So I think you guys know, I mean, Megan does a great job, Anna does a great job updating you all. But if there's things that we should be doing maybe to welcome some of the new people, like Aaron, when I saw uh, the post, and what's the new gal's name? It begins with H.
Haley.
Haley. I saw a picture of her in front, of the Keller Market House window. Maybe share with us, how we could be welcoming new people on your staff into this sort of shared learning journey. So email us with any suggestions. Because I think even on these webinars, it sometimes feels like the tip of the iceberg, in terms of these topic areas. So if there's stuff, especially for newbies on your staff, you want to make sure we're sharing more information, let us know.
And also, we're gonna have like a regular meeting next month. And then in June, we will have our next webinar, and I'll share that information ahead of time. But if you all wanna share with me some questions you would like me to include during the webinar for that specific topic, please feel free to do that. And Erin, I know that I already have some of the questions that you wanted for when we talk about the job descriptions and a little bit more of the HR aspect. That will be our last webinar. Um, But again, I think that that way you all can get the most from these conversations, right? Um, but yeah, if there's nothing else, I just want to say thank you, everyone. And it's always great to see you, even if it's through these screens. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you all also next month in person.